They are the reason that I am where I am today. Powerful words by Djokovic last night. Hello, hi, and welcome to Meaningful Mondays with me, Rashmi Shetty, a space where I share my life lessons. And yes, when there is a Grand Slam, the next day the lesson is from the champion. And once again, after the French Open, Wimbledon brought us Djokovic. 3 times in a row, sixth time for him, and also the crown of being on the same list with Federer and Nadal. And the way he spoke about the legends was humbling. I've always been a hardcore Roger Federer fan, and I loved the way he behaved on court, kept everyone hooked for his behavior, the gentleman that he was, and the way he played tennis in style, like he was described, with not a sweat on his t shirt. And then comes this man from Serbia, an underdog in every sense of the term, a country where when the embargo was imposed, he was also one of those little boys whose families had to stand in queue to take that piece of bread, and who hasn't forgotten where he's come from. A war-torn country, but a dream of being number one in a globally rich sport comparatively, tennis. He had set his eyes on being on the center court the day he saw Pete Sampras play and winning the Wimbledon trophy. 3 times in a row now, sixth for him and 20 Grand Slams. We still have one more slam to go at the end of the year, the US Open, and then comes the Tokyo Olympics. Will he do it once again? Will he, after Steffi Graf, be the one who takes the golden slam, inclusive of the gold at the Tokyo Olympics? Well, time will tell us. But the man definitely is someone who has a lot to teach. I was watching an interview of his, and it was where I understood what is behind this amazing human being, Djokovic. We only see him as a tennis player, but to make him who he has evolved to be, there has been a lot of life and life lessons that he has had. He talks about his 12th birthday when they are celebrating it and they're singing, and right above them goes a plane and fires some bombshells elsewhere. He talks about all his troubled times as a Serbian and his dreams, and how when dreams come true for him, it can come for anyone. He also speaks about how amazingly he transformed his attitude. And for me, at that point in the interview, it was where he became equivalent to what we are going through with the challenge that this global pandemic has thrown to us. Somewhere, his story became the metaphor for me because he also came from a space of uncertainty and decided and went ahead and delved deep into understanding how much a holistic improvement and growth is important. And I think times like these, that's exactly what we need to do. He also says he built patience. The ability to understand everything takes time. And I think we need to build that as well. But another beautiful lesson he said life taught him was gratitude. He was grateful that he lived through it all and could come out of it to be who he is. He remembers the $10, which was so precious to his family at that point, with the difficulties around. And today he is pretty well off, but he's not forgotten his beginnings, and therefore goes back to be with the Serbian children and motivates them to have dreams as well. In uncertain times like these, it's champions like Djokovic who teach us a lot of life lessons. One part of the interview, he talks about how his attitude of revenge became resilience. And that for me was very powerful. He says how he used to be so angry as a teenager that somebody who doesn't even know who they are bombing, is just bombing innocent civilians. And he realized that it's important, thanks to his parents, not to get angry with the whole country because of a few people who are taking these wrong steps. And what could he do but work on himself? And that's where the revenge slowly moved into resilience, wanting to get up each time after that fall and start all over again without having to worry. And the moment he says that happened, what happened was he started evolving as a person. And I think in times like these, it's that absolutely rational hope that becomes the resilience that we need. A lot of us have had to take a step back, but uncertainty is something everyone's facing, and we are all on, in a way, a level playing field. Let's take this lesson from Djokovic of putting it all together, putting our anger and altering the emotion from revenge to resilience, from anger to gratitude. And the more you start altering these emotions and looking around you and seeing all those small things that we can celebrate, I think the champion in us will definitely emerge. Stay blessed. Have a meaningful, purposeful week ahead.